Hello, this is Lakshmikant Tiwari. So in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can track a real-time activity of a person, and we are going to code it into our Android Studio. So as you know, knowing what activity the user is performing can allow you to cater your application experience. Suppose that by asking if the user is starting the exercise, so you can keep the track of it with your Google Fit, and you can prevent the notification from being sent when the user is driving, etc. There are many other applications of recognizing real-time activity. You can provide the persons how much calorie they burn and how much they walk, how much they ride, and how much they cycle. So those things can be done. So there are two methods to do it. Either you can get data from the accelerogyro and the magnetometers, and you can do a 9-axis fusion, sensor fusion, and you can develop your 9-axis sensor fusion algorithms. And there are another way. Google already has this API, real-time activity recognition API. So you can directly use those Google API, and it will automatically find the real-time person's activity. So for that we need to add Google services into our Gradle file. So we can do it into Gradle app module. So here in the compile versions we need to include our Google GMS services. So that service can be included very easily. I'm going to write that service. I'm going to include that service. So here you can write a compile. Okay. So then of course the com.android dot support, right? So here we need to include we need com.android. I think I'm missing something. I do not need Android here. In fact, we need com.google and then .android and then .gms service. So this is Google service which includes APIs of real-time activity. So it's a play services, and we are going to include 11th versions. Okay, so 11th and upper from the 11th version. So you can do it easily, and let's sync it. It will download this. It will download this library directly into this project. So let's wait for so that it can download this library directly from the internet. So for programming this you need a working internet. If you are working behind the proxy, you need to set your proxy into gradle.properties, and if you are not working behind the proxy, then it's fine. Right, so in the meantime it is resolving the Gradle. So what we can do, we can create a new Java file here. So that Java file would be activity recognized service. So we can do it, we can write here activity recognized services, right? So it's a service, activity recognized service, and we need to extend it into intent services. Okay, so we need to extend it into intent service. Perfect. Okay, yes, the red color is coming, don't worry about that. Okay, that will go. So here we, first of all, that we need to create a constructor. So it would be the activity, the public, and then activity recognized service, and here it would be void, and then there would be a super. Okay, so we can just give name here activity recognized. Okay, great. So the another one, we are again going to create a public activity recognized service. There is another constructor activity recognized service, but this time we are going to accept an arguments, a string type argument such as name arguments. However, we would not be using these things. This would be a super, and then we can pass this name. Right, now we need to implement few override functions, so we'll do it. So in meantime what we can do, we need to also give the permission, right? So into our Android manifest file, so here we need to set the users permission. Okay, so users permissions, we need users permission for GMS services, right? So if you write here play, we need to write here com dot google and then dot Android, right? And then there is GMS service. Okay, and then we need a permission of this GMS service, right? So in this GMS service we need activity recognition, right? Okay, great. So we have got here a permission for the activity recognition. Now let's come back to our activity recognized service Java file. Now here, as I told you, now we need to implement override function. So we can do that override functions very easily. So what we need to do that in override function, so we need to implement here what we can do. Let's press Control and O and then handle detect activities, right? So this is the function, okay, handle detect activities. But before handling detect activities, we need to also override functions on handle intent, right? So you can type here on handle intent, it is protected, right? So here it is getting an intent as an input. So what we can do here, if activity recognition result, okay, if activity recognition's result has result, okay, so if it has results, then we need to read it. Okay, so what we can do, activity recognize result, and then there is result is equal to activity recognize result, and then we need to extract the result. Okay, so we can extract this result from the intent, from the intent, and then we are going to call our another handle function, handle method, so that is handle detect. So I'm going to give name handle detect. Okay, handle detected activity, perfect. Okay, so this could be the result dot get probable activities. So let me explain here what is the mean of this probable activity. So here we are going to get the probability of being any activity. So the result would come, suppose that the person is writing 90% activity, means API has identified there is a probability of the 90%, and suppose that if it comes still 100%, that means the Google API has found that with the 100% confidentiality, that confidence that a mobile phone is in still condition, right? Perfect. So now we need to implement this handle detected activity, right? So we can do it very easily. So we need to private, make it to the private, right? And then handle detect activity. Okay, so it's gonna take a list. Okay, so it's gonna take a list, since it's a result get probable activity, so of course there would be a list, there could be, I mean, a large activity set. So what we can do, we can get here the list, and the type of the list would be the detected activity, right? And let's give the name of this detected activity as a probable activities, right? So we can do probable activities, perfect. Okay, so now let's suppose that if so many probable activities came, so we need to apply here a for loop, and we need to check for each and every activity. So the detected activity, and activity. Okay, so it will iterate to all probable activities, right? And then we are going to implement here a switch condition, right? So, oh sorry, then we are going to make here a switch condition. So the switch and then activity dot get type, right? Now the switch conditions activity dot get type. So here it is gonna test the activity, right? Now what we are going to do, we are going to apply here many cases. So the first case, something is wrong. Let me see what is the wrong. It's a small switch, right? Yes. So here we are going to apply our first case. So the first case is in vehicle. Okay, so detected activity dot in vehicle. So if it is detected as an in vehicle, then we need to write the person is into vehicle. So what we can do here log d. So the log d, it is it will tag, I mean it will show into Android monitor what is the current activity of the person. So for that we need to write here the log t. So it will automatically add a string tag of the activity recognized service, right? Perfect. Okay, now what we need to do here, now we need to do here the now we need to get the confidentiality, I mean the confidence level of the in vehicle activity, right? So in handle detected activity, let's say in vehicle. Okay, so the activity dot get confidence, right? And then we are going to break it. Another case, so the another case could be, I mean, sorry, a case inside the case cannot be. Okay, so the another case could be another on bicycle. Okay, so on the bicycle, if it is on bicycle, then we can give here the log d. Okay, we can write here on bicycle, and then we can get the probability of that activity. Perfect. Now we need to break it, and the another case would be detected activity on foot, right? So let's make it the log d and on foot, and then we can make it the activity dot get confidence. Perfect. And then we can break it. Case. Now the another one is detected activity running. Okay, so in this case we are going to again log it. Okay, running activity dot get confidence of this running, and then break it. Perfect. And then there is a case detected activity dot still, detected activity dot still, and we are going to again log it. So here we can write it is still, and then activity dot get confidence, and now we need to again break it. Perfect. Now after this, what we need to do, we need to also take the condition of the walking. Okay, so detected activity dot walking. Okay, for the walking condition we can get the log d detected activity, let's say the walking. Okay, and then activity dot get confidence. Perfect. And then just break it. And another case could be the tilting. Oops, sorry. Okay, detected activity tilting, right? So in the tilting conditions, what we can do again right here, we can write it tilting. it's almost we are repeating it here. Activity dot, again then get confidence, and then we need to apply here break, and then again there is case. Suppose that then unknown activity, then what would it be? What would be the condition, right? So it's unknown, and you can say it's unknown, and let's get the confidence of the unknown activity, right? And then we again also we need to give here a break, right? So here almost everything is fine. In our activity recognized services, so we have not found any error. But before that, since it is intent services, so we need to add this intent services into the XML file. Okay, so here after activity we need to add this as a service, right? So in this service we need activity recognized service. Okay, if you do not add this in your project will simply crash without any error in compile without any compilation error, right? I think almost everything has been done into the activity recognized service.java file, and now we need to do some coding into the main activity. So it's very simple into the main activity. We will not take more than 2 to 3 minutes to code into the main activity, right? So in the main activity we need to first of all that implements Google services, right? So we need to first do the implement Google API client dot connection callback. So we can write here a Google API client dot connection callbacks, and Google API client dot on connection failed listener, right? So we are also going to create two override functions for this. So before that we need to create a public variable Google API client. So Google API clients, you can say it as a API client, okay, and then we can create a 3 override function. So simple control O, and then on connected we need to get on connected, and then again control and O. Another one is the on connection suspended, and the another one is again control O, that is on connection fail, right? So on connection failed. Perfect. So you can see here the error has been gone. Now let's do some coding into on create, right? So in on create I think in on create we need to do a little bit coding only. So it's in on create we need to initialize API client. So you can say it's a new Google API client, right? So new Google API client we can do, oh my god, so many things has been no, we do not need this much. Okay, let's press a control, right? So we need here Google API client dot builder, right? And then main activity dot this. Perfect. And then now we need to add API activity recognition dot API, and then we also need to add connection callback, right? So the connection callback of the main activity dot this, and then again we also need to add connection failed listener, okay. So in that we also need to do the main activity dot this, and then finally we need to build it. Perfect. Okay, and then API client dot connect. Perfect. Now everything is fine here. It will connect and it will start working. So suppose that it will connect and then it will come back to the on connected. Now we need to code this on connected, right? So in on connected we need to create here first the intent, Okay, so the intent is equal to the new intent. Okay, so in the new intent we want main activity dot this. That's mean we want to go from this activity to activity recognition, sorry, activity recognized services, right? So we want to go into sorry, activity, we want to go into activity recognized service, right, dot class. Perfect, so we want to go there. Okay, now intent has been created. Now we need to get the pending intent. So in the pending intent you can get the pending intent and then again the pending intent. Okay, so in the pending intent equal to the pending intent dot get service. Okay, so the get service, again the main activity dot this, and then if you see here it is asking about the parameters. Suppose that if I delete it, let's see what it would ask. Okay, so it would ask the context and the request code and then the intent and then the flag. So the request code I'm gonna give a 0, so main activity dot this, and the request code is the 0. Okay, so I'm not going to use the request code here, right? And then the intent, okay, and then the flag. Okay, so the flag is pending intent dot update, something like that. We can say the pending intent dot flag update current, right? So the flag update current, that's the pending intent. Perfect. Okay, so here what we need to do, the activity recognition dot activity recognition API dot activity recognition API dot request activity updates, right? So now what we need to do, MAPI client, and we are going to update at every, let's say, the 2 second, that is 2000 millisecond, right? And let's pass this pending intent. Okay, I think we have done with everything here. So one more thing I think we can do, we can also write I think I'm done with everything. I do not need to do anything else, right? So almost everything has been done. Let's test it. Okay, let's run it and let's then again test it. Let me connect my mobile first. Okay, great. So it's asking about to use this selection in the future, and let's see what will happen. Since nothing would come into the screen, I think only hello world will come. I did not change anything into a resource folder, right? In layout I didn't change anything, but it doesn't matter since we are not using any user interface yet. We are only going to print into Android monitor. Right, so it's building, indexing. Just wait for few more seconds. Great, it's now installing the application. Great. So now application has been installed in my mobile, but you can see here we are not getting anything. Okay, so there could be I mean the many regions the logcat is not responding. So if it gets to you, what you can do, you can refresh from here. Okay, or it had just started, no problem. Okay, so yes, so it is handle detected activity is still with the 100%. I think I need to give some space, otherwise it would not be able to recognize. Just wait for, I didn't get any, yes, sorry. Oops. So it is using a Google machine learning and artificial enabled algorithms to find out the activity. Right, now let's uh, upload it into my mobile, and then you can see here. Perfect. So here the still is coming. Now I am moving my mobile. You would see after some times means other than still would come. Okay, since I have written there the 2-second delay, so that's the minimum, but it could be a more than 2 seconds always, right? Oh, it was, I think, device got locked. That's why this mref and the Qualcomm etc is coming. Okay, I'm not sure why others it's not coming. What I can do, it's still only once is coming. I think everything is fine, nothing is wrong here, but still it need to get working. Yeah, it's working, but I do not know why it is not logging continuously. Right, so I think let me restart my logcat from here. If I restart, so again it is giving the still 100%. I think I may have made some mistakes somewhere. No, it's fine here. Still get confidence is coming there with 100%. I think everything is fine here. Let me again restart it while I'm moving my mobile. Okay, still not coming. So what I can do? Let me restart from my mobile itself. I think did I get something here? Nothing. This time nothing. Okay, nothing happened. Nothing is happening here. If I restart it one more time, nothing is happening here. Okay, let me check it in offline, then I'll come back to you once I get the problem. What is the problem here? Yeah, so it came back. I did nothing. I just changed it to 2000 to the 3000. I think it was not getting enough time to update the activity. So I just made it to the 3000. That's mean it will update at least a minimum 3 seconds. So it will request to update only after the 3 seconds. Right. So here you can see here the still it is coming. Earlier I was moving here, so that's why it was coming something like a garbage. Now let me move my mobile. Okay. So I am moving it. Okay. So I am moving. You may get a tilting effect also here. Some tilting probability. I am moving, but it's not showing anything. Why? I think it is not able to connect with the internet. No, the internet. Let's wait for, yeah. Right, so here see, I was tilting it, so the tilting comes to the 100%, right? Now there are many other opportunities. You can build your own applications, real-time activity recognitions, and then you can, then you can also add few more text weave etc, and you can get these activity recognition into the text weave, right? The percent wise. Okay. So if activity confidence is coming more than the 75%, then I would consider it as 100% like confidence. Suppose that if in vehicle is coming more than 75%, that's mean you can consider it the person is in vehicle, and if still is coming more than the 75%, then you can say your mobile is in still. And if on foot is coming more than, so here see the still is coming 77%, and yes, the mobile is on in still condition, that's why it's coming as 77%, right? So we can consider it as mobile is into the still condition, right? So here again mobile comes into the still condition. That's great, really. This tutorial was really great. However, I took, I think, more than the 20-25 minutes to complete it. But really, it was an amazing tutorials, and we have built an applications of real-time activity. So thank you so much to come this far with me. And you can subscribe this channel so that you can get more updates. And I'll be doing more Android programming tutorials. And you will be getting updates directly into your inbox. Okay, bye-bye. Have a nice day.